Several decades ago, breeders were carried away by crossing fashionable breeds. They began experimenting with the exterior, trying to combine the best qualities. Some crosses have been successful and some have been blacklisted. One of the best products of this trend was the Maltipoo, a dog bred on the basis of a lapdog and a poodle. Maltipoo is a cheerful, charming girl, affectionate fidget and a devoted accomplice who will willingly support any of your undertakings. This fluffy friend is still a rare guest in the apartments of our compatriots, but, contrary to the predictions of skeptics, this fact does not affect his popularity and demand. Do you want to see for yourself? Then post photos of your Maltipoo in the profile of any social network. Tons of likes and enthusiastic comments from fans of the breed are guaranteed. Highlights. In Western fan clubs and kennels, the breed can appear under such names as Maltipoo, Maltipoo, Poo Malti and even Malchidal. Mestizo Maltese and Poodle are able to bear and give birth to healthy offspring, but their litters are small, 4, very rarely, 6 puppies. Maltipoo retain their puppy spontaneity and love of outdoor games to old age. All hybrids have a clear voice, therefore, if necessary, they are able to scare off a stranger who invaded the territory of the apartment. With the same ease Maltipoo incurred the anger of neighbors in the house, the constant, albeit melodic barking in the morning, has not yet caused any delight in anyone. Despite the fact that the breed is declared as hypoallergenic, it is not completely so. So people with hypersensitive immune systems should be extremely careful when choosing a dog. Maltipoo is a pet for couch potatoes rather than careerists. Long-term absences of the owner of the animal are difficult to endure and are even capable of falling into depression if they are forced to constantly remain alone. Due to their miniature and rather fragile physique, Maltipoo dogs are not recommended for keeping in families with small children, as well as inattentive and careless owners. Origin story. Maltipoo is a designer breed of dog, obtained by crossing a Maltese lapdog and that kind of poodle. Her homeland is the USA. The name is formed by adding names. The aim of the breeders was to obtain a hypoallergenic companion dog breed. They practically succeeded. In most cases, people with allergies do not feel discomfort when living with Maltipoo. But before you decide to buy a puppy, you need to visit an allergist. Other experts believe that the reason was the desire to create a descendant of pure blood. Maltipoo is descended from true purebred breeds, it is unique and one of a kind. But all the scientists agreed in one opinion: the selected dogs have amazing external data. For this reason, Maltipoo has a spectacular appearance. These dogs participate in rehabilitation programs all over the world. Communication with Maltipoo helps to cope with nervous breakdown and stress. Maltipoo. Description of the breed. Maltipoo dogs are still unrecognized. For this reason, we cannot talk about certain standards of this breed. Maltipoo are very showy, pretty dogs. They have an individual appearance. The size of such a dog is small. In adulthood, their maximum height can reach only 35 centimeters. There are also smaller individuals, their height does not exceed 12 centimeters. The weight is also small, up to 3.5 kilograms. The physique of these kids is proportional. Dogs have a beautiful, thick coat that can be dyed in various shades. The color of the woolen coat is black, white, brown, apricot, etc. The Maltipoo breed is practically unlimited in this. However, more often they buy and sell crumbs of light shades. The dog's coat is very pleasant to the touch. The pet resembles a soft plush toy in all its appearance. The great advantage of Maltipoo wool is its hypoallergenicity. A person with chronic allergies can have such a dog without fear. Plus, the little dog doesn't shed at all. The eyes of the animal are small, dark in color. They look like 2 cherries. The nose is dark. The Maltipoo looks very curious and friendly. These dogs fall in love with themselves from the first meeting. In general, the external data of the Maltipoo largely depend on their parents. Puppies can be obtained by crossing a toy poodle with a Maltese or by breeding 2 Maltipoo. In both cases, beautiful, cute dogs with toy external data are obtained. Popular colors. Maltipoo. Maltipoo are dogs with stunningly soft, silky hair. They have 3 types: straight, silky, curly, wavy, tough. The first type of coat was inherited by the dogs from their direct ancestors, the Maltese lapdogs. It can be quite dense or sparse. Such wool is very pleasant to the touch, never gets tangled, does not require complex maintenance. Dogs with this type of coat can have various beautiful haircuts. Curly babies are in great demand. They have a thick, resilient coat. Fun fact: dogs feel very similar to teddy bears to the touch. However, this type of coat has a drawback: without good care, it will quickly roll off. The harsh type of coat is quite rare. It is undesirable because it requires a lot of money and time to take care of yourself. These dogs are sold at a discounted price. All three of the above types of coat can be of different colors. Nature has awarded the Maltipoo with a huge number of colors. The color of the coat can range from black to white. However, not all colors are very popular. The following colors are in greatest demand: white, apricot, ashen, cream, gray, black and white. As you can see, light shades are in priority, but it is worth remembering that dogs with light hair will need frequent bathing. This will require not only your time, but also funds, because high-quality grooming shampoos for decorative dogs are not a cheap pleasure. The character and habits of the Maltipoo. The character, habits of the Maltipoo were largely formed at the genetic level. The parents of the kids passed on their best qualities to them. In particular, immeasurable love, devotion, affection for their masters. These babies will adore every member of their human family. They will feel great in a family where there are children or old people. Maltipoo also gets along well with other pets. They can even make friends with a cat. Maltipoo will be a good companion for a single person. He radiates friendliness and loyalty with all his appearance. Also, among the characteristic qualities of a dog, it is worth noting its cheerfulness, activity. The dog will literally charge you with its energy. She loves to play, spend time actively on the street. However, the friendliness of the dog sometimes goes beyond all boundaries. Maltipoo treats all people well, they do not divide them into friends and foes. For this reason, dogs of this breed will never become reliable guards. Almost all decorative dogs are inherently intolerant of loneliness. Maltipoo is no exception. These animals cannot be alone for a long time. They definitely need company. Maltipoo can even get sick from loneliness. Such a dog should be walked on a leash. You can only release him from the leash in a safe place, where no one can attack him. It is necessary to walk with a decorative dog every day. The minimum walk should be 15 minutes. In summer, you can walk for a long time, in winter, only with mild frost. Interesting facts about Maltipoo. Maltipoo is one of the few dogs with hypoallergenic hair. Such a pet can live in a family in which an adult or a child has a chronic allergy to dogs. This dog will not shed, cause attacks of an allergic reaction of the human body. These cute plush dogs are real foodies. They love to eat deliciously, sometimes they choose the most unusual combinations of products. So, for example, they will gladly eat a small portion of nuts with honey. Maltipoo are prized in canistherapy. These animals have a positive effect on people's mood and even well-being. This type of therapy is gaining great popularity today in America, Japan, England. It is used to treat stress, emotional or physical stress. Experts strongly recommend that families with sick children have such a pet. Maltipoo dogs are an inexhaustible source of good mood and energy. Such animals almost never have a bad mood. They will always, even when you feel unwell, will radiate positive. Such dogs will brighten up loneliness, will be good nannies for children. Maltipoo is a hybrid. Until now, this breed is not officially recognized by nurseries. However, the popularity of these babies is huge all over the world. The fans even set up a special club. It is called the North American Maltipoo Club. The same club created a register of mestizos so that it was possible to track their number and distribution. Pros and cons of Maltipoo. The decorative dog Maltipoo is one big plus. They are funny, active, cheerful animals. They will help you brighten up your everyday. This dog does not have a bad mood. The undoubted advantage of the breed is its hypoallergenicity. Such a pet can easily live in a family with a small child or adult suffering from allergies. Maltipoo wool does not fall out,